everybody. This is Miss Marilyn. Hi. Anyway, I have it kind of set up so that you'll be able to see some things because I thought we'd do a couple of different things today. I was just going to do the one little experiment, but I had some really cool bubble wrap in a package that I got the other day, and I thought that I would do some bubble wrap prints and also show you an easy way to make paint if you don't have any at home. So let's start with that idea. It just takes some flour and some water and some food coloring. I have liquid watercolors, but you can use food coloring to make the paint. And if you want it glossy, a little teaspoon of oil added to it would make it a glossy finish. So let's go ahead and make some paint. You'll need about 1/4 of a cup of flour. And this will make a lot of paint, I think, but depending on how much you think the children will want to use. So anyway, I'm going to put some blue watercolors in here, which if I had blue food coloring, I would use it. And you're probably going to have to use quite a bit of coloring just because it's a flour-based paint. So I'll put that in there. And then I'm just going to put some water in. Oh, if I can get this open. There we go. And so I'm just going to put some water in, and I'm just going to put a little bit at a time so that I can mix it to consistency. See, right now it's kind of really thick, so I'm going to need some more water. And this is making a dark blue. But you'll have to just kind of test it out and add a little bit of color at a time to see how dark you want your paint to be. And so this looks pretty well like good paint consistency. And I think I do want to make it a little bit of a glossy finish. So I'm just going to put a little bit of oil in there, like a teaspoonful. You can use a teaspoon if you want. I'm just kind of eyeball it there because that's kind of how I cook. So, but anyway, I've got a little bit of paint made up. Some blue paint, but I also would like to make a separate color, one of my favorite colors. So I'm just going to use another 1/4 of a cup of flour, and it doesn't have to be exact because, like I said, you're kind of measuring it out to a consistency that you like. This color is going to be magenta. I love blue and magenta together. So I put the magenta in. And I'm going to put a little squirt of water in there. Let's see. Oh, and my whisk. I would say stirring it with a whisk will be better because it'll get all the lumps of the flour out. So, but anyway, so I'm kind of mixing up the magenta. It's pretty. I'm going to add more water because this is kind of a thick. And I'd say if you're going to do some painting, I would, because it's a water and flour-based paint, I would probably paint on things like cardstock or cardboard or a heavier paper, because children do like to paint the whole paper, the whole page. They just do. So I would use heavier paint or they'll end up getting holes in the paper. Unless that's their plan. If they may want to have holes in their paper. I don't know. We never know. But anyway, so you just need a paintbrush. There are different kinds of paintbrushes you can use. You can use a clothespin and attach a cotton ball or piece of sandpaper, some feathers, just anything you can think of. This is just a little foam brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my paint aside. Let me move this out of the way. And I've got my bubble wrap. Now, this is the big bubbles. I like the big bubbles, but the small bubbles turn out pretty too. But anyway, if it's hard for your child to keep the bubble wrap still on the table, you can tape it down. And I have my piece of cardstock over here ready to go. So I'm going to start with a little bit of magenta, and I'm just going to paint over the bubbles. And you can put it on as heavy as you like, or your child can put it on heavy. It doesn't matter. Children do like to do things a little heavy, and that's okay. So anyway, you can just paint on your bubble wrap. And then I would have a paper towel to dip this in. But anyways, I like to kind of blend a little bit sometimes. So I'm just going to put my paint on here. And just do a little bit of it so you can see. And then you just have your child get their piece of cardstock or a little piece of cardboard. You know, sometimes you buy things that's got that little piece of cardboard inside of it. I always tend to save those. But anyway, just have them laid on there and just have them rub over it a little bit. And then when you get it off of there, then you got some bubbles. They kind of look like bubbles. And you know, chances are there's a little bit more paint on there and you can do it again. So that's kind of like a neat thing, and you can use it for a background in their scrapbooks. Maybe put some of their photographs on top of that as a background or something. I kind of smeared mine, but you know what? That's going to happen. So creative minds, you just got to be creative and let the children use their own ideas. Some other things you can do with the paint that you make is you can use things in your kitchen that you can make prints with. So I'm going to put this down, and I thought I'd try a few things that I've never tried before. But I'm going to put some of my paint on a paper towel, and pay no attention to my cats fighting. They're kind of fussy. Somebody doesn't want to be messed with. My monster cats. They are monsters, I tell you. But anyway, so I got some magenta, got a little puddle of it on there, and I like to do a paint pad type thing. So I kind of put it together a little bit there. But it doesn't need to be a whole lot of paint. But I've got like a mashed potato, a masher. So I'm going to dip it on there, and I might take and do that. And I'm going to make a print with my masher. Get some paint on all of it. So I've got some paint with that. And then I've got this thing. And this is, I love this little tool, but it's a papered chef tool. But anyway, I'm going to dip it in. It's for breaking up, like if you cook with hamburger or something, to break it up into smaller pieces. Oh, it makes like a little star. That's kind of cool. Then I've got this thing. It's got holes in it. Let me see what it'll do. I've never tried this. Oh, it makes dots all over. Yeah, looky there, my stars and my dots. And my mashed potato masher. This is another masher, but this is a different shape. So you can use things with different shapes. So let's try that. Oh, it's not real flat, so it didn't make much of a shape. But anyway, you can try different things. Try different things around your house to make prints. Kids love that. Ask them, encourage them to think of things that they can use to make prints with. Now, we're going to move on to the next idea, the original idea I had. Now, this activity can get kind of messy. Imagine that. Messy Marilyn coming up with a messy activity for parents to do with their kids at home. Anyway, you're going to need cornstarch. And I'm just going to use about a half a container because I don't have any kids here to play with. And you're going to need some water, okay? And something to put it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use about a half of a container of the cornstarch in here. So I'm not wasting it. But at home, you'll want to use the whole thing. Trust me. And then I think I want my cornstarch to be orange. So I'm going to put orange watercolors into my water to color the water. Like I said, you can use food coloring. And I'm just going to pour a little bit of water into the cornstarch. I didn't pour the whole thing in because I don't know how much I'm going to need, but you're just going to use it to consistency. But the kids can just mix it with their hands. It's a very soothing activity. Oh, I think I put just the amount that I might need. Maybe I need more. I don't know. But anyway, the kids will tell you if they need more. But this is just a very cool thing to do, and it helps children. Not only it's very calming to me, but it also shows how things can go from a solid to a liquid and also back to a solid again. So I'm mixing some more in there because I want to make sure that I can pick it up and squeeze it out. And if I squeeze it out, it's kind of a solid, but then it kind of melts and it drips. And the kids love this in the classroom. Now, trust me, it can get messy, so you might want to put a tablecloth down, or probably better yet, you might want to do it outside if you're kind of don't like messes. You might want to put it outside, but it's very soothing. It feels cool, and it goes from a solid to a liquid, and it can go back to a solid again if you squeeze it up, and then it'll melt again back to a liquid. So it's really a very cool, calming activity for children to do, and they just love it. And I know a few of my kiddos in the classroom, they love to put small toys in there too. They love to put like the little manipulatives, the cars and tractors and trucks and animals and all that stuff in there. They must have their reasons, but they love doing that. So in our classroom, we have a lot of creative minds, and I'm sure you have creative minds in your home. So use this as an opportunity to have fun and to let it be messy. Children learn through mess. Trust me. They love the messy stuff, and it's so good for them. So let me know, give a comment or something if you try these ideas and what you liked about them. What do you think that would make them better? And I hope you are having lots of fun with your kids at home. And I thank you for watching. Have a great day.